please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You may be seated.
Good evening, parents, relatives, friends, and honored guests. On behalf of the graduating class at Kreuznach American High School, I would like to take this opportunity to welcome you all to the graduation ceremony of the class of 2000. We would like to thank you for coming out this evening to share this very special occasion with us. We welcome you to the first Kreuznach High School graduation ceremony of the new millennium. Thank you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I thank you all very much for joining us, the graduating class of 2000, tonight to celebrate this great and memorable day. While I was trying to decide what I was going to speak on today, I tried to think of what I really wanted out of life. I knew I wanted a good house, a nice car, but that wasn't really what I was thinking of, not materialistic things. I was thinking what I truly wanted out of my time on Earth. And then suddenly it dawned on me, the one thing that I wanted most was to be happy. So without further ado, I'd like to talk to you a little bit about happiness. Burton Hillis tells us that happiness is not a destination, it's a method of life. In other words, we shouldn't be living our lives wondering how to get happy. We need to be happy. We need to laugh. We need to shout, love our friends, love our neighbors, love our relatives. We need to do everything humanly possible to make us happy. A great friend of mine graduated a couple years ago from this high school. Her senior quote taught me a lot, so I'd like to share that with you. Far away in the sunshine are my highest aspirations. I may not reach them, but I can look up and see their beauty, believe in them, and try to follow where they lead. Louise May Alcott. In this quote, she tells us that we may not always make it to the top. We may not always be the very best, but we need not sit around and do nothing. We have to try our very best, and we truly need to know what happiness is, and through that we can learn what happiness is. A parable is told of a farmer who owned an old mule. The mule fell into the farmer's well. The farmer heard the mule braying, or whatever mules do when they fall into wells. After carefully assessing the situation, the farmer sympathized with the mule, but decided that neither the mule nor the well was worth the trouble of saving. So instead, he called his neighbors together and told them what had happened, and enlisted them to help haul dirt to bury the old mule and well and put him out of his misery. Initially, the old mule was hysterical, but as the farmer and the neighbors continued shoveling and the dirt hit his back, a thought struck him. It suddenly dawned on the mule that every time a shovel load of dirt landed on his back, he should shake it off and step up. This he did, hit after hit, shake it off and step up, shake it off and step up, shake it off and step up. He repeated to encourage himself, no matter how painful the blows, or how distressing the situation seemed for the old mule at the time. He fought and just kept on shaking it off and stepping up. It wasn't long before the old mule, battered and exhausted, stepped triumphantly over that well. What seemed like it would bury him actually blessed him, all because of the manner in which he handled his adversity. And that's life, ladies and gentlemen. If we face our problems and respond to them positively, and refuse to give in to panic, bitterness, or self-pity, the adversities that come along to bury us usually have within themselves the potential to benefit and bless us, hence making us happy. Ladies and gentlemen, I've attended Kreuznach American High School ever since the 7th grade. And when I look back and think about my past years here, one thing comes to mind: I know I was happy. So on behalf of the graduating class, I'd like to thank each and every individual who took some part in making these years in BK happy ones. One night, an old man was walking along the ocean shore. Some distance away, he saw a young boy heaving starfish that had been washed up by the tide back into the ocean. He saw the millions of starfish on the shore and knew without a doubt that the boy could not save them all. He finally approached the boy and said, "Young man, there are thousands and thousands of starfish along these beaches that are going to die. How could you possibly make a difference?" The young boy thought for a second. Then he reached down, picked up another starfish, heaved it back into the ocean, and he said to the old man, "I made a difference for that one." Ladies and gentlemen, we, the graduating class of the new millennium, are going to make a difference. Whether it be big or small, whether we be doctors or lawyers or garbage men, I can assure you that we will make a difference, and that difference will be a good one. Again, I thank you all so much for your time. I wish you all the best of luck for a long and happy life, and may God bless you all. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. There's this legend I was once told about a group of ancient nomads. One day they were surprised by a great light. In awe, they received a message to gather pebbles, keep them securely in their traveling sacks, and at the end of the day they would be both glad and sad. Despite the fact that the task made no sense to them whatsoever, they were so in awe of the great voice that they complied, and each gathered a few pebbles. At the end of the day, they opened their sacks to find that each of the pebbles had turned to a diamond. The nomads were glad to have the diamonds, but sad they had not gathered more pebbles. As we are reaching the end of the first chapter of our lives, all the experiences and all the knowledge we have gained, as tedious as it may have been to gain it, will begin to reap its value. High school is not just about learning information out of books or completing assignment upon assignment. It is about learning how to live. It is our stepping stone to bigger and better things. Each of us in the class of 2000 has all the potential to achieve all our goals. As we pursue these goals, we will come to realize that everything we have experienced and learned through these 4 years, though they may not have much significance now, will become the diamonds in our lives. We will always cherish the good times, and will learn from the bad. And so I say to my fellow graduates of the class of 2000, take advantage of everything life has to offer you. Live every moment, and remember there is no failure except in no longer trying. Congratulations, you guys.
Good evening. It gives me great pleasure to introduce our guest speaker tonight, Elder Carlos N. Keith. He is a native of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. He graduated from the University of Central Texas with a Bachelor of Science in Management and Technology with honors at cum laude. He entered the U.S. Army in January 1975. Chief Warrant Officer 3 Keith is assigned to the Assistant Chief of Staff, G4 Food Service, 1st Armored Division. He is responsible for managing the division's food service program, supporting over 11,000 soldiers. He is an ordained minister with a master's in biblical studies from the Institute for Teaching God's Word Seminary, Rockdale, Texas. He is an associate minister with the Christian House of Prayer Ministry, Coppers Cove, Texas, under the leadership of Bishop Nathaniel Holcomb. Elder Keith has served in many leadership positions, such as the Deputy Area Coordinator for the Churches of God in Christ in Korea, Church Administrator and Founder and Pastor of Full Gospel Deliverance Temple of El Paso, Texas. He currently serves as one of the Associate Ministers for the Roseberry's Gospel Service back Kreuznach, Germany. He has been married for 18 years to Fanny Keith. They have 2 beautiful children, Katrina and Nathaniel. Elder Keith is en route to Fort Lee, Virginia to pursue a Master's in Logistics Management from Florida Institute of Technology. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, will you please give a round of applause for Elder Keith.
I tell you what, they look beautiful up here today. Let's just give them a hand. They look beautiful. This is very handsome. Let me start by saying how glad I am to just be up here today. It's a very humbling experience. I want to express my gratitude to the class of 2000 for selecting me to speak on what I believe is one of the most exciting times in their lives. It's a real humbling experience for me to do this, believe me. I'm honored. I'm at awe to stand here in the presence of such quality students that we're getting ready to send out here into the world. So I hope today that I can say something that will inspire you towards continued success. Everyone wants to be a success, and I would say you are already a success by the fact that you've achieved a great milestone. Success is not measured in terms of possession, popularity, or performance. My simple definition of success is knowing and obtaining God's goals for your life. I believe this principle, and I live by it. I believe that whatever you make happen for others, God will make happen for you. We often think of graduation as an end of an era in our lives, and it is. But graduation is also commencement. It is a time of beginning again. One of the definitions of the word graduate is to pass from one stage of experience, proficiency, or prestige to a usual higher one. Moving, changing, or developing gradually. I like that definition because it implies you are moving forward. Your next step is called life. Just look at it as moving from the comfort zone, where you're moving out from the responsibility of your parent into what I would consider the combat zone, where now you have the responsibility for your own lives. Most of us, when we graduate, have a vague idea of what we want to do in life. It is a task just picking the college we would like to attend. However, whether you go to college, you go into the military, or just get a job, I would like to offer you some advice that hopefully you will remember. And I would like to put it in the form of like a baseball game. I believe life is like a baseball game. You have rules, you have players, and you have goals. In order to be successful and stay in the game, you must follow the rules. One of the goals of the game is to hit a home run. But in order to hit a home run, you got to get on base. And so, like baseball, there are 4 bases that I believe that you need to touch in order to be successful in life. The first base is decide. You need to decide what you really want. Most people go through life never getting anywhere because they never decide where they want to go. They never hit anything because they never shoot at anything. Sometimes it's because of the fear that they will make the wrong decision. Life is all about decisions that you make. In life, you will make some good decisions. You're going to make some bad decisions. But to move from one place to another, you have to decide. Look at it, I want you to look at it as moving from good to the better to the very best. You decided to stay in school, and the results of that decision is you're sitting up here on this stage graduating. I decided 26 years ago to come in the military. I've oftentimes had some reservations, yet I believe it was the right thing for me to do. The military has been good to me. It has given me a great life. It has given me great opportunities. So I think I made the right decision. The second base that you need to touch is the base of desire. And I say this, the proof of desire is in the pursuit. You will never possess what you are not willing to pursue. You will never possess what you are not willing to pursue. Most people don't succeed because they don't have a desire. Your life will always move into the direction of your strongest thought. People rarely reach for what they need, but they will always reach for what they want. Our desires are more motivating than our needs. It was a desire that inspired the Wright brothers to fly. It was a desire that motivated Thomas Edison to persist through 10,000 experiments that failed before perfecting the incandescent light bulb. Henry Ford's determination and desire in the face of impossibility was the secret of him discovering the famous V8 engine. In the face of adversity, determination and desire will always win. What do you most desire? In a poll of students of a certain college, one of the questions asked was, what do you most desire? The majority of them said they wanted to be popular. The word popular means to be held in high esteem, to be highly regarded. It means to be liked or even loved. And truly, that is one of the deep desires of every normal person. To be popular is a worthy ambition, but popularity is like happiness. If you seek it, you never find it. The best way to get to sleep is to forget about it. That's the same with popularity. The secret of being popular is losing yourself in something else. Now we went to first base and we went to second base. Now we're going to go a little difficult because it's a little difficult to get around to this base. And the third base is discipline and direction. Most people never get to this base. The Bible says that a person with an undisciplined spirit is like a city without walls, meaning there is no protection. You are leaving yourself open to defeat. The key to victory, power, and reward in every part of your life is personal discipline. Every athletic champion and Olympic winner practices discipline. In fact, almost without exception, winners are successful because of discipline, which gives birth to success habits. Your desire will always take you in the direction you want to go. The direction you go is as important as the goal you have set. Your direction in life will cause your goals to become reality. Always move in the right direction. People start out going right, having the right desires, and somewhere in the middle, the course changes. And so what am I saying? Stay on course. You will never reach your potential until your priorities become habitual. Not only does discipline hone the mind and condition the body, it produces an important side effect called security. The person that practices self-discipline is confident that good things will happen instead of bad. It produces self-confidence. Just like the athlete knows what his body will do when he calls on it to perform in a contest, the scholar knows his mind will produce the answer he needs because he has disciplined it to be alert and prepared. There are several areas that I want to tell you about that you need to think about disciplining. The first area we need to make sure we discipline is our conversation. Always speak in positive terms. Words like, I can't, I'm weak, I always fail. Replace them with words like, I can, you can, and I will. One of my minister friends tells of a story of a man who nearly every Sunday would say to him, preacher, tell them they can. Tell them they can. There's a story in back of this man. Despite the background of a fine family and a good start in life, he had made a miserable failure of himself. He felt that life was completely over for him, that he could do nothing and he would just soon as die. But he met a man who took an interest in him and taught him a great principle, that if a man believes he can, or a woman, he can. This conviction completely changed his life. One of the finest sports writers America had ever known, by the name of Hugh Fullerton, tells of a story about a manager of the San Antonio baseball team. He had the finest team in the league, but they had lost 17 of their first 20 games. It happened that there was a revival meeting going on near the ballpark. This meeting was being conducted by a faith-healing evangelist who was attracting a lot of attention. Some people thought this man could perform any miracle, and the baseball team had heard about the preacher. One night after the game, the manager told each of his players of the team to give him 2 of their favorite baseball bats. They did that, and he loaded the baseball bats in a wheelbarrow and told the men to stay there until he got back. He was gone about an hour or so. Finally, he returned and was jubilant and told the players that he had taken their bats to the faith-healing preacher, and the preacher had blessed each one of the bats. Now these bats had a strange power in them. The next day, the San Antonio team played Dallas. San Antonio got 37 hits and 20 runs, and from that day on, they were the team that they were supposed to be, and they even won the pennant. Now, what happened to those bats? The answer is nothing. Absolutely nothing. But something happened in the minds of each of those players. Each of those players had a new feeling that he could hit that baseball. Each went up to the bat with an attitude of faith. When we get the idea that we can succeed in life, we will, and we can. But if we get the idea that we can't, we won't. We need to tell ourselves we can. Your words, class of 2000, are a signpost to others, pointing them in the direction of your life that it's moving. And then there's several other areas in your life you need to make sure you're disciplined in. That's your reading habits and your association. Don't be around people that subtract or take away from you. Always stay with people that multiply and add to your life. People don't really decide their future. They decide their habits, then their habits decide their future. And then after you pass all 3 of those bases, of course the last base is hitting a home run, which I've named this base destiny. Once you have the right desire, you have disciplined yourself to receive it, and you're going in the right direction, you will hit your destiny. Your life calling is whatever creates the highest level of joy within you. And I know sometimes we get feeling like when we try to do so much, we just fail. But let me tell you this, whenever you feel defeated, and that's for all of you out there, I want you to think about this. There was a man who once lived in America who inspires all of us. Yet this man knew the meaning of defeat. His mother died when he was a child. As a young man, he ran for the legislature of his state, but he was defeated. He entered business, but a worthless partner put him into bankruptcy. He fell passionately in love with a girl, but she died. He served 1 term in Congress, but was defeated for re-election. He tried for an appointment to the United States Land Office, but failed to get it. He tried to be a lecturer, but he failed in that also. He ran for the United States Senate, but he was defeated. He ran for vice president of the United States, but he was defeated. Ladies and gentlemen, his name was Abraham Lincoln. That just tells you, don't quit. Stick with it and don't quit it. Don't allow life to tell you that it's over. When it looks like the end, it's only the beginning. It's just a new chapter in your life. That's what's happening today. It's a new chapter in your life. So stick with it and don't quit it. And I want to end with this. This scripture that's in Jeremiah the 29th and the 11th verse and the 12th verse says, "For I know the plans that I have for you, says the Lord. They are plans for good and not for evil. I give you a future and a hope." Thank you and Godspeed.
On behalf of the class of 2000, I would like to present to you a small token of our appreciation.
Members of the faculty, honored guests, parents, relatives, friends, and members of the graduating class of 2000. Tonight is my privilege to present diplomas to the 22 members of the graduating class. I know we have said here and we have heard the salutatory address, the valedictory address, and we've heard the inspirational words of our guest speaker. Now, I'm sure you are eager to get on with receiving those diplomas, the ones that you have worked so hard to attain. You're eager to get on to visit with your friends and celebrate with your relatives that have come to celebrate with you tonight. You're also eager to get on with the plans for your future. Those plans could be many of the things. For some of you, the plans will be that you are going to go on in the world of work, you're going to get a job, and you're going to have the responsibilities of family living. For others, you're going to go on to college. That's going to mean more study and more preparation. But whatever your course of your future takes you, is my sincere hope that you will look back in your time here at Kreuznach High School as having prepared you to meet and deal with the challenges that life will present. On behalf of myself and the faculty and staff of Kreuznach High School, I wish to each and every one of you the happiness of a productive and enjoyable future. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Department of Defense Education Activity and the Department of Defense Dependent Schools Europe, I am proud to announce that these students have successfully completed the requirements for their high school diploma and now will be given their degree. I would like to ask Ms. Barbara Hickman, my Kreuznach High School Assistant Principal, to come forward to assist me in presenting the diplomas.
Matthew T. Benjamin. Matt would like to thank his parents for supporting him and pushing him to do better, and his grandparents for traveling from the States to see his graduation. At 10 years, Matt plans to be a computer graphics artist. Luna Christina Bloom. Luna would like to thank her friends for all the fun they've had, and most of all her parents for all their love and support. In 10 years, Luna will be an international lawyer living in New York. Jacob Samuel Bushman. Jake would like to thank his folks for always being there, as well as best friend Tom. In 10 years, Jake will be flying a commercial airline, editing professional music videos, and raising a beautiful family. Miriam Joy Calicdan. Miriam would like to thank her mother for having such a beautiful heart and her friends for all the good times. In 10 years, Miriam will be a pediatrician living in San Francisco. Thomas Joseph Deary. Tom would like to thank his folks, the BKHS staff, his number one buddy Jake, and everyone who ever gave him a warm handshake or a smile. In 10 years, Tom will be a TV news anchorman or the owner of Cash Money Records or Charles Edward Dukes III. Charles would like to thank his parents and the Lord, because without them he would not be here today. In 10 years, Charles will be in the NFL playing for the North Carolina Panthers. Terrell Alexander Garth. Terrell would like to thank his parents for all their love and support. He'd also like to thank all the family. In 10 years, Terrell will be a millionaire after retiring from the NBA, owning his own casual clothing company around the world. Jason Hannon. Jason would like to thank his family, especially his mother, and the BKHS faculty, and his girlfriend. In 10 years, Jason will be developing software and beginning a family. Tanchaka Herrod. Tanchaka would like to thank God because with him all things are possible, and her parents for everything she's always needed, especially love. In 10 years, Tanchaka will be living comfortably in Atlanta, Georgia as a clinical psychologist. Vanessa Johnson. Vanessa would like to thank her family, her coaches and the teams, all the staff, and Avie Sanders. In 10 years, Vanessa will be a rich businesswoman working hard but still having fun. Please excuse us for a moment. Attitude all these years. In 10 years, Tawanda will be a cosmetologist owning her own shop. Sander Moore Jr. Jr. would like to thank his parents for all the love and support they've given him. In 10 years, Jr. will be in the NFL. Cherice L. Moss. Cherice would like to thank her parents, her friends, especially Avie, Laura, and Sheryl, and all those who supported her throughout her life. In 10 years, Cherice plans to be a successful lawyer, singer, and actress. Misty Michelle Pebworth. Misty would like to thank her mother and friends who have supported her through bad times and good times. In 10 years, Misty will be a practicing veterinarian and be living in Kansas. Wanetta R. Pittman. Wanetta would like to thank her mom for putting up with her all these years. In 10 years, she'll have her own beauty salon in North Carolina. Avie Elizabeth Sanders. Avie would like to thank her parents and friends for dealing with her mood swings and attitude all this time, and thank Vanessa Johnson. In 10 years, Avie will be happy and loved. That's all that matters. Kenyon C. Smith. Kenyon would like to thank his mom, friends, and teachers for all the help and support they've given him. In 10 years, Kenyon would like to be in the military, the CID. Sheryl A. Smith. Sheryl would like to thank God, her family, especially her mom, dad, and brothers, and her friends for always supporting her in her activities. In 10 years, Sheryl hopes to be starting a family and having a successful career as an interior designer. Laura Maria Stewart. Laura would like to thank God for giving her faith in her family and her friends for helping her keep it alive. In 10 years, Laura is going to be at the start of a family and a successful career in the entertainment world. Paul Tatum. Paul would like to thank all of those responsible for his graduation. In 10 years, Paul will be President of the United States. Adam Zinser. Adam would like to thank the people who stuck through even when it was friendly fire. In 10 years, Adam says, hindsight will be 20/20.
Ladies and gentlemen, I now pronounce you graduated.
I'm always privileged to be the first one, other than Mr. Helmstetler, to congratulate you. I'm proud of each and every one of you. You've worked hard and you've made it. There are a couple of people that want to make special presentations tonight. Oh, sorry, only one. First, Mr. Doug Kittleson, who's president of the Kreuznach Education Association, will come forward and make a presentation.
Okay, on behalf of the Bad Kreuznach Education Association, I'm pleased to present our $400 scholarship to Ed Ballou.
There are several other organizations that have already made presentations of scholarships, but we like to take the time during the ceremony to let all of you know how gracious people have been to our graduates. The Bad Kreuznach Community Scholarship Fund awarded scholarships to 4 individuals. And would you please stand when I call your names? Luna Bloom, Miriam Calicdan, and Terrell Garth were awarded $300 scholarships. Sheryl Smith won a $500 scholarship, and because of that $500 scholarship, in connection with the President's Student Service Challenge, and because she had over 120 hours of volunteer work in our community, she is awarded another $500, which makes a $1,000 scholarship. Would Cherice Moss please stand? Cherice was awarded a $500 scholarship from Delta Sigma Theta Sorority and a $100 scholarship from the Sounding Cymbals Playhouse. The University of Maryland Mannheim has awarded a presidential scholarship to Matthew Benjamin of $500. And 2 of our graduates have received Army Emergency Relief Scholarships. Cheryl Smith for $800 and Luna Bloom for $2,000. And the Major General James Ursano Scholarship is awarded to Avie Sanders, $1,100. Miriam Calicdan. Miriam is from the state of Washington, as you'll soon know. She was awarded a $2,000 scholarship as a tuition waiver to Western Washington University. She was also awarded a $3,000 scholarship, which is a University Achievement Award, to Washington State University. However, Miriam wants to go to the University of Washington, as she calls it, UW, so that's where she's going. And Charles Dukes. Charles will be attending Chowan College in Murfreesboro, North Carolina, and he's been awarded a $5,900 grant. Luna Bloom. Luna will be attending St. Bonaventure University in New York, and they have awarded her scholarships and grants in the amount of $10,500. I always like to end by giving you a summary of the plans for this class. 82% of them plan to further their education. 50% will be going to a 4-year college. 18% will be going to 2-year colleges. I'll give you numbers there and you can check my arithmetic. 11 will be going to a 4-year university. 4 will be going to 2-year community colleges. 3 of the graduates plan to attend vocational schools. 2 plan to seek full-time employment. 1 plans to go into the military service, and there is 1 undecided. Thank you.
Did y'all have me crying? Whatever. Y'all really did have me crying. Y'all crying. I'm not gonna cry for y'all. That's why I told you to open it. I said you gotta You said yes.